What if your morning coffee wasn't just a drink, but a piece of art? Today's guest built a brand that turns a simple daily ritual into a luxury experience. And the story behind it is even better. Welcome to the Glovisor Podcast, where we explore business growth, communication, and personal development through real conversations with people that make an impact. Our guest is an award-winning journalist, entrepreneur, public relations consultant, and former federal background investigator whose career spans over 4 decades. Rather than following a traditional career path, she's pursued opportunities to learn, build, and create. In 2025, she launched Tropics Lifestyle Coffee, a luxury gift brand built around unique coffee gifts. Glovisor welcomes Lisa Bastian.
Well, hello there, Joe. I'm calling from beautiful San Antonio, Texas.
Beautiful. Thank you. A pleasure and looking forward to the conversation.
Thank you. Do you have your coffee in front of you?
Not yet. I should have been prepared for you.
I should have said it for you. Yeah. Sorry about that. Didn't think ahead.
Well, Lisa, please tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Well, I am the founder and owner of, as you said before, Tropics Lifestyle Coffee. And this is something that's, people say the word passion, but it truly is something that gets me up in the morning because I spread so much happiness to people across America. What I've done is I've created a new niche in the gift and the coffee industry field, kind of a fusion that hasn't really been there before, which is very exciting, but kind of scary at the same time. What I have is I have the top 10% of the coffee in the world, which is called specialty grade. And that is fused with my beautiful top 10% coffee with gorgeous packaging of 12-ounce boxes with rainforest, beach, and ocean designs that I make myself. I have 100 of these. Any given time, there's 30 of these beautiful designs on my boxes. And so what happens is someone picks up a box of 12-ounce coffee and there's coffee inside, and my beautiful box is exuding tropical vibes 24/7, unlike the typical commodity coffee you see in the store. This is something that's really a collectible piece of art. And this is why our mission, we say, is beautifying coffee stations across America, because it really is something different. When you buy an art box, as we call them, an art box coffee from our collection, you will put it next to your coffee station. And immediately it just kind of just says, I'm here and I'm happy and I'm going to just make your kitchen look gorgeous. And then you open up this beautiful box of rainforest, beach, or ocean art, and you have the best coffee in the world. You brew it up, and just for those few minutes, whatever, you are taken away to paradise, Joe. So it doesn't get any better than that.
Before we move on, I wanted to ask you something about what you mentioned, that your coffee is in the top 10%. Can you explain to us the different qualities of coffee?
Coffees are graded on various levels, and what they call specialty grade from 0 to 100 is anything that's graded from 80 to 100. And these are by coffee masters and roasters across the world. So a specialty grade starts at 80, and if you get anything between 80 and 85, 80 to 90, you've reached the pinnacle of coffee success. It means it's free of defects. As far as bad stuff in it, twigs, this even, down to the mechanical, physical things. But it also has coffee beans that are just the peak performance, the peak looking, the peak smelling beans of the world. And what that means is these beans are so perfect, specialty grade, top 10%, that, better beans means better coffee. And when I first began looking into this, I thought, okay, top 10% specialty grade, right. And I'm in PR. It's like, this is all fluff. I'd never had specialty grade coffee. I tried it for the first time and I was just blown away. It was spectacular. I thought, okay, I believe all the hype. I can do this. So I have something that is new. It's a niche. It's not only specialty grade. You got these beautiful boxes that you can only get from me. and it's really becoming a hit, not only in San Antonio, but to the people I have all over the country that are discovering it.
Now, just so we are all on the same page, you're saying that the specialty, it's about 90%? How does that compare to what I can get at the grocery store?
It's actually the top 10% of coffee in the world. So in the grocery store, there's lots of fine, lovely coffees that are roasted that are various grades. And they won't tell you it's, what percentage it is, but unless it says specialty grade, it's not the top 10%. So you have to look for that. And most of them are not. Mine also has a third superpower besides being beautiful, display worthy, we call it coffee, top 10%. When you place an order, you order through my website. Okay. And then within 24 hours, our roasters will roast the coffee for you, just for you. And that's important because roasted coffee, roasted fresh, tastes a lot different than what's in the grocery store, because I've learned that the beautiful coffees that I've been buying my whole life could have been sitting there for weeks, months, half a year. I wouldn't know about it. And so this is definitely different, and it's shipped to you within 7 to 14 business days, depends upon where you live, you get it. It's usually shipped out about 2 days after being roasted.
Now, is there an ideal time to consume coffee?
Right away. After that, I've been told it ranges from 2 weeks to about 2 months. And then about a month after that, you could consume it a good amount till about 6 months to a year, but preferably within the first 3 to 4 months is what I've been told is really peak. But coffee doesn't go bad that much, but connoisseurs, they can tell. They can definitely tell. I tell my people to consume it within the first 2 to 3 months.
Now, what inspired you to pursue this path?
My goodness, where do I begin? As you know, my career path has been very varied and diverse. I guess you could say it started in a rainforest in Ohio. Now, you might ask, how does it have a rainforest in landlocked Ohio? My mother had always loved the beach, and she and my dad got married in Florida, and they live in Cincinnati, where I'm from. And there's this beautiful botanical garden called Crone Conservatory. I think it's about 90, 100 years old. It's gorgeous. And you walk inside of it, and there's this outstanding rainforest as you walk in, with turtles and waterfalls and banana trees and all the palm leaves. And my mother would always take me to this rainforest ever since I was a baby, she said, numerous times. So I think I ended up thinking I wasn't growing up in Ohio. I was growing up in a rainforest. I guess kind of like my referred DNA just began loving tropics and tropical things. So it always kind of stayed with me, and my mother had decor from Florida and the tropics. And then I grew up and I became a journalist. And part of my job was writing for national magazines for meetings, travel, tourism, and economic development. And they would take me to places all over the world on these things called fam trips, where you're treated like a princess because one of your articles, maybe 500 to 1,000 words, might bring in $1 million project for your host of your trip. So they would treat you very, very well, as you can imagine. Well, some of my trips would take me to Puerto Rico and beautiful beach environments, and I got my vibe of the rainforest again. And I noticed something, Joe. Everywhere I went on these dozens of high-end fam trips where they took me to castles or the seats of government, the rainforest, just gorgeous places. Everyone always served coffee, the best coffee they could have of that country. So coffee was a common denominator. If we couldn't speak any language the same way, the coffee was our denominator that kept us together and kept the business words flowing and the laughter and built the relationships. I noticed that, besides fueling me as a journalist for 30, 40 years, coffee had this magic. And I just always kept it back in my head. So then what pushed me towards my coffee brand was dear old COVID came along, and I decided to maybe go a different direction and focus more on me instead of making tons of money for other people. And I dabbled in a tropics magazine because of the aforementioned mother instilling this love of the tropics. And I started talking about home decor and the beauty of what the rainforest could bring to interior design. And then from that, back in 2025, early, I began to think, what else could I do to bring joy to the world and to my own self and to actually heal me? Because what I didn't tell you, Joe, was I had a health scare about 10 years ago. I looked at 10, 12 different doctors. Happened to be something that was fixed by some supplements and some good tests. But along the way, I realized I had to clean up my diet. And I did so with organic foods, this and that. And then, Joe, guess what? My beloved coffee, I found out a lot of it is full of mold, mycotoxins, heavy metal, yeast, bad things. So I thought, okay, I have to start fixing my coffee. Oh my gosh, I get even that. So that's where I kind of discovered the specialty grade part. So 2025, I'm thinking, okay, I got a health problem. I love coffee. I want to do something more of my own. I want to be really tropically. I mean, you mix all this stuff together in a blender and you kind of get Tropics Lifestyle Coffee out of it. And then the other thing I had was I wanted to be a graphic designer. It was my first love back when I was 18. And I threw that in. I thought, okay, I'm going to design these boxes. I went to a company and I said, I know you really don't do this, but what if I put all these different designs on these beautiful 12-ounce boxes and also boxes for coffee pods, because we sell coffee pods too. And they said, no one's really done it at this scale, but yeah, we'll support you. So I thought, okay, let's look at their coffee. And it had beautiful art. It had coffee that was tested for the bad stuff I just told you about. The mold, mycotoxins, yeast, they would, that doesn't have it or just trace amounts. I thought, score. What's there not to love about this? And then I thought, okay, I'm always curious. Why am I going to be different? What's different about this? I said, okay, health consciousness, beautiful art. It's maximum roasted fresh. But is this really going to matter? And then, Joe, I remembered reading about in some very good national magazines on the art side, on home decorating, that coffee stations were a thing. Did you know that? Coffee stations have become a huge thing since COVID. And what happened was people could not go out to get their beloved $6, $8 lattes anymore. So they began kicking away the liquor cabinets and bringing in the coffee carts. And they started making coffee bars and coffee stations like you've never seen before. Millions of people. And so they brought $500, $1,000, $2,000 gorgeous equipment. They got their coffee spoons. They got their cool cups. I mean, they were just rocking and rolling. And who knows where the liquor went? Probably went inside the coffee. But the one thing they forgot, Joe, was what? They forgot they take the commodity grade coffee, which is in the little bags that after you start using it, they become all squishy and yucky and frumpled. And they put these typically ugly bags next to this beautiful coffee station. And it's like, ooh, this is not match. Well, I realized that what I had, beautiful coffee in these art boxes, took care of a problem that people really didn't realize they had until I pointed out to them. And with my beautiful boxes now sitting next to this gorgeous coffee stations, you had a complete, beautiful setup. So my coffee does not have to be shamefully put underneath a counter, and people can proudly display it. And now it just makes their whole coffee station look beautiful. And that's my story. What do you think about that?
Love it. Because you provided a solution to a problem that most of us don't even realize we have.
Nobody, I mean, I have sat with realtors and just people in general just want to meet me. I've talked an hour about my coffee. Now, you try that with any commodity grade coffee. It's just not going to happen. Just kept asking questions and about coffee stations, about the art I would do and about the type of coffee and specialty grade, what makes a difference. And then they taste it and why is this so smooth? Oh my God. So I knew I was onto something when before I officially launched, I had some, family and friends, I always do that. I'd say, hey, I got something new. And I'd send them the boxes, either the coffee pod boxes of 12 or the 12-ounce boxes. And I'd say, just check this out. Well, first they love the coffee. And I said, now you're supposed to put the box next to your coffee pot. Well, I usually don't do that. I said, okay, well, will you try it for me? Okay. Well, guess what? They all reported they kept the boxes next to the coffee pot, not because Lisa said so, because it's like, this is pretty cool. You're right. I'm really liking this. And then my family or friends are always noticing and they say, this is so beautiful. And I'd say, okay, so what are you going to do with the coffee boxes? And this surprised me. 95% of my friends will not get rid of my boxes at all. It's like, is it because I made it? And it reminds, no, it's just so pretty. I'm reusing it for jewelry. I'm using it for, a catch-all. I just can't get rid of it. So I didn't expect that, but it's a nice bonus. I'm not talking about it on my website, but, it is definitely beautifying a coffee station. And that brings me up to the other slogan I have, which is just based upon truth. This is coffee. We think coffee should look as beautiful and exceptional as it tastes. And nobody else has that space.
The other side of it is that starting a business and going to market, it's not easy. Sometimes what we do is we look at businesses and we say, wow, they're successful. Amazing. She just started in 2025. Look how successful she is. But most people don't realize that there are a lot of trials and issues to bringing that to market. So what were some of the biggest obstacles you had to overcome?
Well, the main thing was, I do have a business plan. I think the first obstacle for myself or anybody else is you're all excited like a little kid at Christmas. I got a really cool idea, right? The biggest obstacle is, but should I do something with it? Is it just something I should dream about and kind of noodle around in my head, or should I go forward with it? So the first obstacle is, it's not believing in it. It's like knowing with research, the background. Part of my background was, as far as working for clients all around the country in different industries, was putting together, editing 100 different business plans for some business books. And that was a very insightful experience. I learned that a business plan, even one page up to like 40 pages, is really what everyone needs before you even get your LLC or whatever, or your name, your domain name. You have to know, is this going to work? At least on paper. Figure it out. You do a business plan. You do what we call a SWOT analysis, which my strengths, my weaknesses, my opportunities, my threats. Joe, I spent months doing that, months and months and months. So it was kind of disheartening at first because I didn't know what I'd find out, especially when you're creating a new niche, fusing the gift industry with the coffee industry, with the specialty higher end industry. Is anyone going to pay extra money for this? I mean, I'm competitively priced in the specialty grade market, but is this going to be viable? So I found out that it was, but I didn't just use my heart. I used my head. And I think that's very important to do your research. If you'd say about obstacles, that's the first thing is this a viable thing that I should go forward with? Now, with that being said, we're all familiar with Shark Tank, and we know there have been many companies on there that the sharks were all over, right? And they were complete flops afterwards. There's other ones that were on there, and the shark said, no, I'm not doing it. And I think one was the Ring doorbell. I think his his was wonderful, right? After the Shark Tanks, he went on to be, $1 million, $1 billion business. So take it with a grain of salt. There are people that just say, I believe in it and I'm going to go forward no matter what. And I'd say, go for it. I'm just saying, if you have some research behind it, you can go forward with more confidence and more planning, and that's going to turn into more success in the long term, I believe.
In the coffee space, you very often hear the word Java. What is it?
Java it's slang. People don't like to use it, but as a writer, I hate saying coffee all the time. It just means coffee to me and my friends. Java. It's just a fun word we use.
Artificial intelligence is changing how businesses operate. How have you been using AI as a practical tool to help you build and grow your business?
It's a very good question. When I was dabbling with the Tropics Lifestyle magazine back in 2021, I discovered AI back then. This is before ChatGPT. And I was working in the graphic design space, and I was making some, I don't know what you'd call it. It kind of looks avant-garde. They were ugly. They were ugly images that that AI made for me, but they were different. They were mine and nobody else was doing it. And yes, I had like 6 or 7 fingers on people. If I made pictures of that, I made images of fish that had 6 eyes on them. Early AI was not a thing of beauty, you know. But it would have been great in a modern art museum, and it probably some of my stuff would be in an early AI museum. I'd be happy to give it to somebody. But it made me feel like I was gonna conquer this thing. I was just gonna learn it. And my thought was, nobody else is doing this. No one else is helping me. It's just me, baby, alone, as I've always been. It's just me pushing forward. And I thought, if I learn AI 1%, just 1% of AI a day, I'm gonna be great. And that's okay. I'm not gonna go backwards. And it's gonna build upon the next day and the next day and the next day. And I'll know 1% more than Sally down the street, not that it was a competition, but it was like, just keep pushing. When chat came along, I was an early adapter of that. And I began to upload the aforementioned business plan. And I got the $20 a month chat. And lo and behold, chat has become my best marketing buddy. And at the height of my PR career, I was not cheap. Chat does just as well in some areas as my work in the past. Quicker, faster. I have to still check it, of course. I'm just blown away by its insights.
If listeners only remember one thing from today's conversation, what do you hope that message is?
I would hope that they would remember that coffee is a beautiful beverage to enjoy and savor every day, and not to be afraid to try specialty grade coffee and pay a little bit more for it to make the experience as delicious and beautiful as it can be. Life is hard and your coffee shouldn't be. And I'd like you to try my coffee. It's game changing visually, emotionally, I won't say spiritually, but it's just fun. It's just something new, fun. And I want to spread joy in this post-COVID world through my coffee, my Art Box coffees. And I hope you'll come along on the journey of spreading joy with me.
That's great advice. Where can our audience connect with you and learn more about your work and continue this conversation?
Well, thank you, Joe. My website is tropicslifestylecoffee.com, and they can reach me at my email of hello@tropicslifestylecoffee.com. And I also have a special treat for your listeners. For everyone listening out there, I would love to have you use a special discount code for my first-time buyers, coffee lovers. It's real simple. It's 5 Tropics, the number 5, TROPICS, and you just put that discount code at the checkout, and you get $5 off your first order.
Lisa, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your insights. We really appreciate your time and the value that you brought to our audience.
Well, thank you, Joe. And continued good luck with your wonderful podcast. We're all rooting for you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. If this episode inspired you, share it with someone who needs it. And don't forget to follow the Glovisor Podcast for more conversations that make an impact. Till the next time.